Wedding cake season is here. Into few months, August is here. And all through December, we know this is our month for the wedding cake. So presenting to you, this is the checklist of what you need to have, what you need to carry in your basket when you're delivering your cakes and when you're doing the setup as a package for your wedding cakes for the bride. If this is for you, subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of video, and on the comment below, please feel free to ask any of your cake related questions and I'll be here to answer them for you to the best of my knowledge. So many people have come into our inboxes mostly asking about the wedding cakes. Now, today, as we are going to break down the categories into different parts, we are going to talk about the consultation, what happens during consultation. We are going to break the consultation into the first consultation, second consultation, to the point that you're closing the deal with the contracts for the wedding cakes and all that until the wedding cakes, your client is cutting your cake. Our topic today is the checklist for a wedding cake basket. And this is the basket that you are talking about. And in the full discussion, it's all about what is it that we carry when we take our wedding cakes for setup. As we all know, there are some clients from the experience that we've got. We are 3 years into the industry, and until to date, we've done 47 wedding cakes. So it means these are 47 interactions with the bride and the groom. This means 47 times 2 times 10 when it comes to experiences and what we've come through with our bride and the grooms. This means 47 lessons that we've learned in all the wedding cakes that we've done. And we are here to table them bit by bit. But today we are going to talk about the checklist, that what is always inside our wedding basket when we go to set up the cake. Not all clients, when you give them the wedding price for the cake and you segregate it into the package, so they want to understand what is it that the package is having. So we assume this is the client that wanted all through, because we have other brides that they only need the cake to come from us, but they are going to deal with the delivery, the setup on their own. As it is at Little Hans Bakehouse, we have one wedding service provider. For her, she takes everything from the decor, she does the seats, she does the flowers and everything. And all her cakes comes from Little Hans Bakehouse. So when it comes to such a client who don't need our setup, we just let them know what is it that they need to have when it comes to setting up the cake for themselves when we are not there. We have that one accommodated for such clients. This is just one of them, but we have other brides. Maybe the distance is too far for them for us to come in as a transport, but we have to let them know what is it that they need to know and they need to have when it comes to setting up for the wedding cakes. Now, we assume this is a bride that is taking Little Hands all the way from doing the cake to set up and everything that is needed at the ground. Now, we've done the wedding cakes. We have two scenarios. Not each day is the same like the other. Depending with how many cakes we've taken the orders, at times we get so overwhelmed with the birthday cakes. That's why you find at times we say fully booked, because the birthday cakes that are already inside the orders for that week, coupling up with the wedding cakes, becomes so overwhelming. So it's not that we refuse the orders, but it means it's so overwhelming. So I want to give two scenarios. This is a scenario when it was so relaxed that we've done all the cakes. The cakes have been finished to the point that when we carry the cake to the venue, it's just about placing this cake on top of the other, or placing this cake on the cake stand and all that. But we have another scenario when we were not able to finish all the cakes to 100%, but we've done maybe 95%. And these are the small gritty things that we need to carry so that we finalize the cakes at the venue. It's always very safe let's say you agreed to set up the cake at 1 o'clock, but at the look of things, it's 12 o'clock and you've not finished the cake to maybe, let's say, 100%, but you're just 95. These are small things. We always leave the bakehouse with the cakes and just finalize the small details when we are at the venue. We'd rather be at the venue early and do the final touches other than finishing the cakes at the bakehouse and just go and take the cakes there. It gives them more relaxation when they see you at the venue way early in advance, so that it just relaxes everyone's heart and everyone's peace of mind. Now, let's say we've gone to the venue. This is our cakes and everything that we need to have them. Now, for us, royal icing is a must-have. We must carry royal icing that is ready prepared. And just to be on the safe side, we always work with the white one. But if you have a cake that is not white and has a color, it's okay even to pigment the royal icing so that you just carry at the venue. Royal icing helps us to stick the cake on top of the other. So you leave your home when all the cakes are doweled very well. This is tier 1, tier 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the cakes are tiered. So when you go to the ground, the cakes are there. You just put royal icing on top of the cake and the other one to come. Just to be safe and also to add the stability using the royal icing. Because as it is, you can just place on top of the other and nothing will happen. But you just want to be very extra careful, just in case there's wind, there's somebody dancing next to your cakes, and they just fall off when you can't do anything. So royal icing is a must for us. So when we go with the royal icing, we just make sure it's done on time, and to make sure it's covered with a cling film, just to keep it fresh and with no crust of the skin. So working with the royal icing, we must have our offset spatula. This one helps us even to carry the cake from the bottom just to put on top of the cake. So this one goes hand in hand when we are working with the royal icing. It helps us a lot. And before we do all of these things, when we go to the venue, and with the COVID now, we must have masks on. All the teams that we come from Little Hands Bakehouse, all the team members must have the masks. As it is, it's a rule and regulation now, so don't fail to have it at your venue. We're all playing safe, and also we're protecting ourselves. Something else, we must have the latex, the gloves. They're not costly. There are some places they sell 20 shillings, others 10 shillings. And this one helps us even when you're holding the client's cake with your hands, but it's not bare hands. So let it be a culture in your home baking, not just to always have the gloves. And these ones are food contact gloves. Baking, take note, these are not the medical gloves where they have powdered inside and all that. And also you can be safe if you fail to get this one, you can use the paper one, the plastic ones. They're like clear in color. So, and again, with the COVID issue now, if it's a culture you've not been doing ever since and you're only practicing it now because of what is happening, even if someone sees you cutting the cake while holding with your bare hands, it is unhygienic. It feels not right. It feels not good. So someone might argue, but I sanitized. For you are at the venue, you sanitized. How about that cake that you're exposing to us, having it with your hand bare, just holding the cake and cutting? So just let professionalism rule you and guide you. Don't hold the client's cake naked. And when it comes to cutting of the cakes, for us, the team that is there with us, we all have the gloves. Now, for all our work is just to cut the cakes into slices to the point that it's going to be shared with the clients and the guests. So it's us to cut and give them to the bride to go distribute to the guests in the crowd. So Mask is a must and the gloves is a must. No stories about it. You sanitize as much as you want, but let us see this, because at the end of it all, you're bringing your cakes for us to see. That's what is in your portfolio. So we are at the venue. We are having the gloves on. We are having the masks on, and we are set. Now, all the cakes, when you are bringing them down, we have cake stands. You will see the cake stand that each cake company use, each bakehouse, each home bakers use, is just depend with the preference, availability of where they found it, and also in terms of the cost implications, how much they bought it. So you'll be able to see some cake stands with some bakers, which when you see that cake, you know it's just them. So you can invest in good cake stands, and the cake stand comes in different colors. Let's assume your wedding cake is having a gold theme. So just to have it blended in the head, even of the client, just have your cake stand in gold. And this is the cake stand for the centerpiece. Just have the big one, the heavy one that is able to carry all the cakes that you need. Yes, and for the cake stand that carries the gift cakes, depending with how you want them. For us, you'll see we have the centerpiece and the two of the gift cakes, and the other one too, we just put them down. It's just preference. It's just the style that we want. At times, you'll see some cakes have this other cake stand. So if you're doing the cake stands, you can match the color. If the centerpiece cake stand is gold, let the sides be gold also. If your cake theme is silver, let everything go silver. Try not to mix the theme. This is also what the professionalism comes in handy, because you don't want to confuse the client, and again, your brand is out there to sell. So if you get confused with the brand, who is there to understand it for you? So the cake stand, we must carry them for the centerpieces and for the gift cakes. And if you want the high ones, also that one comes in at that time. Something else, when you're carrying the cake stands, make sure you have the kitchen towel with you. At times where we have the cake stand, they come in boxes, and the boxes have the styrofoams. So make sure you just have it handy, and to help you just to wipe excess of the dirt and everything that you need. Something else, carry water, a bottle of water. Let's say your glass, you don't know how it was packed, maybe just a slight distance from the bakehouse to the venue, and maybe even the venue is 5 minutes, but you find it has some fingerprints, thumbprints, and all that. So just use your water in your clean kitchen towel, just wipe it off. When you're setting up that cake stand, let it look as if somebody has worked on it, somebody has cleaned it up, and just not because it's cakes and nobody will see it. Let you see it and not nobody else or somebody else out there. So kitchen towel comes in very handy. You can have 2 or 3. It doesn't harm, because in any case you will still come back with it. Yes, on to something else. We are still talking on the cakes. We have the cakes. We've stuck the cakes on top of each other, and we've used the royal icing. We have the spatula there. If we are going to do the cakes with the border that we are going to have the breaking of the tiers with the ribbons. The ribbon can come in whatever size. If you're doing gold, make sure it's just gold. If it's silver, if you're doing any color, I've just given this one as an example of purple, if your cake. Because when you're carrying your cakes, that's a question that has just been triggered in my head. We get to receive so many cakes. Jojo, your cakes are always very high. How do you transport the wedding cakes? For us, we transport the wedding cakes, each tier on its own. If you're doing the 5 tiers, we have 5 cakes on their own. We don't transport the cakes when they're stuck. We have others who do that, and they are good at that. So if it works for you, good for you. For us, we just transport our cakes when they're single tiers. We go on the ground, and when the cake is on the single tiers, there's no way you can have the ribbon around it. So it's also even the positioning of it on top of each other. So it's always very safe. Carry this one. Just carry the ribbon. Have it handy with you. And besides the ribbon, you need to have a scissors, because it's the scissors that will help you to cut the ribbon. It looks like obvious. At times you go to the venue, you have the ribbon, you forgot the scissors, and you start running around asking for the knife from the kitchen staff so that you can cut your thing. So you need just to prepare yourself. There are some things which go hand in hand. When you're doing this one has to be there. When our cakes are stuck on top of each other, we've done the first tier, second, third, fourth, and going up, is where now we start positioning our ribbons if we are using the ribbon. If you're having a seamless cake and you don't need the ribbon, then some tiers can be seamless, others can have the ribbon. So, and the ribbons that you're using, we have different shades of gold. Just find out what is working for you. What is it that you've been doing? If you're doing the rose gold, there's no way rose gold is coming in here. So find something which is close. You don't have to use the ribbon, but if you have to do, make sure you carry excess, make sure you carry more, make sure you have your scissors on. Something else that has come to our notice when it comes to the bride, when you're having a consultation with the bride, yes, they are structuring the cake. They've told you we need a 4-tiered cake and 2 giveaways. This one is something we experienced. They're having we were doing a 3-tiered cake with 2 gift cakes. But at the back of this client's mind, they already know the 2-tiered cakes on top of the 3, they are, it's going to be gift cakes. So it's like the crowd was so little. Like the bottom tier is what you are going to eat here. But the 2 tiers on top, together with the gift cakes, we are all gifting them. So if you can, just dig more information from the client. What is it that you want to be done with this cake? Which cakes are we cutting? For them, they didn't tell us anything. Like, we are going to eat 3-tiered cake. That was it. But don't assume. No, there are some clients, maybe even after closing everything with you, something just comes up. So what came to our attention, the client told us, come, you see these 2 cakes? We need to be like gift cakes. So you start looking at each other. We don't have extra boards, no extra boxes, no nothing. So we learned during that time, those cakes had to be transported with the plates because she didn't tell us early. It's something which may be cropped up. It's something maybe she knew, but she didn't say. So in regards to that, make sure you carry extra boxes. And the good thing with the boxes, because we transferred this cake with the cake boxes, it means we are always safe with the boxes. Also, carry extra wrapping papers for us when we give, how we wrap our gift cakes. We use wrapping papers. I'm going to put a photo for you to see the one that we did last week and how it just looks. It's very easy, and you just open it fully, put your cake in between, and bring the edges together to create that like a bow on top. And after that is done, that's why we have the extra ribbon to tie along your cake like this. When we've noticed that the client wanted all these cakes to be prepared and packaged as gift cakes, we never had our excess, we didn't have an excess wrapping papers. So we ended up just putting in the box. Keep in mind, we didn't have the extra boards because it wasn't like discussed early. So when we are doing the ribbons to tie the gift cakes, we take the color corresponding to the theme of the wedding. We just don't do random. So, but if you can also play safe. White is always a safeness for any color. If your cake is red and that, white can always be good. But try, because you have time. Wedding cake was planned very early enough. You are given money very early. So also do your part on the side by just buying the color to correspond with. Let us know, what is it that you learned here? What is it that you want to learn here? What is it that you want us to tackle here? And please subscribe to our channel for more of this video. And I'm hoping after watching this video, at least you're different and you can handle your client very well when it comes to giving them the package, and you're very equipped what is it that you need to carry when you're taking that cake for the setup from your cake houses. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Bye.